The United Nations Resident Coordinator in Nigeria, the representative of the National Security Advisor, and the Executive Secretary of the National Human Rights Commission are some of the dignitaries attending the UN International Day of Tribute to Victims of Terrorism in Abuja. On August 26, 2011, a suicide bomber detonated his device at the United Nations building in Abuja, killing 23 people and injuring over 60 others.
He was also former...
This monument bears the names of the 23 victims. Although dead, they're never forgotten, and on this day wreaths are laid in their honor.
On the 26th of August 2011, when the building behind me was bombed by Boko Haram, our friend Ingrid Midgard, a 30-year-old Norwegian national, was killed while working to support the people of Nigeria. We honor all the other colleagues from across the United Nations family who were killed and injured in the attack that took Ingrid's life.
We must never forget our dear colleagues who perished and those who live with the lifelong scars of the effects of terrorism.
Apart from honoring the victims and survivors of the attack, the UN Resident Coordinator used the occasion to call for increased cross-border collaboration to end terrorism.
We commend the effort of the Nigerian government in their fight against terrorism. It is also encouraging to note that the government is aware of terrorism as a phenomenon which is cross-border and that can only be effectively dealt with by an engagement at regional, sub-regional, and global level.
The Executive Secretary of the National Human Rights Commission and the National Counter-Terrorism Coordinator advocate adequate protection and care for the survivors.
We call for a law to protect victims of terrorism and for the adoption of the national policy for the protection of victims of terrorism during violence and conflicts in Nigeria.
As we mark the International Day of Remembrance and Tribute to the Victims of Terrorism, it is our collective responsibility to support and uplift them. We therefore must ensure that their voices are heard, their needs are met, and their rights are safeguarded.
Records at the United Nations reveal that in the last 1 decade alone, an estimated 30,000 people have died from terrorist attacks in Nigeria. More reason why it is urging effective collaboration to end terrorism in the country.